Hello YouTube, and today I am making a video commentary, my first, about microtransactions within games. Now this is a serious issue for me because microtransactions have been slowly leaking into games and slowly corrupting them for a couple of years now, and it's time people started to realise what they're doing to games and we should just boycott them in general. I know this won't happen, but hopefully the gaming industry will see what's happening and somehow we can put a stop to this before it gets too far. Now, microtransactions are mainly within apps at the moment. This would be when you're paying for extra lives in Candy Crush because you're just addicted to getting this past this one level, or buying some more money in Paradise Cove, for instance, because you want to get the next ship. This is sort of forced upon you because the game becomes addictive and you don't really have any other option apart from to buy the things. And if you don't choose to buy the things and you want to just play it along, it's a grind, and it becomes a grind, and you can't just play the game for yourself because you have to buy the things to pass to the next level without spending hours just trying to play in the game and not being able to. Now this has leaked into gaming, and I say that with a hole in my heart. Games like FIFA now, you can buy FIFA points. This is really awful because it does put you at a disadvantage in the gaming world if you haven't. I'll come back to that later. But FIFA points, I know people who have spent £60 or £70 upon the 45 they've already paid for the game just to get the next player, and it's really not logical when you think about it. You buy a game for the enjoyment, not for the buying more to get more out of the game. You should just have it all free once you've bought the game, which it's really stupid, I think, and it does make the game a bit of a grind if the game is built around the assuming that people are going to buy this, because if they don't, you can't play the game. It sort of stops you in a way with apps and sort of with FIFA, because it's very hard to reach high amounts of money without spending a lot of money on packs. Like I've said already, you've already paid for the game. Some of these Xbox games are coming up to 50 quid. You should not have to pay extra for extra things, or even unlocking DLC. DLC I don't mind as much because it is extra map packs and you get something of worth out of it. But when it's just extra coins or something else, it's mostly extra coins, and it's just not worth it because you've already paid for the game and you shouldn't be made to pay twice. Now, I said I'd come back to the unfair advantage. If I'm playing against someone, and I don't buy microtransactions, I don't spend a lot of money on games that I've already spent money on. If I'm playing against someone, it's obvious to see who has paid for these microtransactions because they have extra and better players that you wouldn't be able to get without many hours of playing. And it just becomes obvious, and it's not fair on me because as a player who doesn't want to spend extra money on games, I have to either grind or just accept that I'm at a disadvantage. Now, I've said FIFA is a bad example of this in the gaming world, as is GTA, and that's really disappointed me. You can now buy GTA coins for money, and it's really atrocious because although the game is aimed at over 18-year-olds, let's not look back away from the point that people who are under 18 play Grand Theft Auto 5. And they are more likely to spend the money on extra coins for the next car if they wanted the Bullet or the Vaca or the better house. They're more able to buy that because children are more tempted to do these kind of things, which is why childish apps are aimed at these microtransactions. And I've already said FIFA's bad, but Call of Duty is the sort of example of how this can be done well. In Call of Duty, you can buy DLCs, which are good. They're very good DLCs with extra game packs and zombie packs. You feel like you've got a lot for your money, and I have bought DLCs for Call of Duty in the past when I've been playing it, and I do feel like I've got my money's worth. Also, in Call of Duty, you can buy camo packs for your guns, say the Bacon pack in Black Ops 2, and you can get yourself a camouflage that just makes the game a little bit more fun for you, but it's only about £2. It's not a lot of money for a camouflage that you can just buy. Now, when I'm playing against someone with a really amazing camouflage they paid the extra £2 for, I'm not going to feel at a disadvantage because it doesn't affect the gameplay at all. It just affects their perception of the gameplay. And that is the sort of microtransaction that I feel is a bit more justified, because the game doesn't become imbalanced because that person has the green gun and I have a black one. And I don't feel that that's a bad thing because they are low prices and they just don't affect the game as much. Now, these things should be stopped, if possible boycotted, and I don't think that is going to happen purely because of the peer pressure that the gaming companies can put on you to buy these things. And when I say peer pressure, I mean you're told that it's just £1 or it's just a couple more dollars in this game to get what you need. And microtransactions don't really become something you need to buy into until you're about 5 or 6 hours into an app. If you've been playing an app for a couple of hours, you've been enjoying it, you're getting into it, and you're actually somewhat addicted to the game. And then, bam, you hit a wall and you just cannot get any more coins or anything without getting these microtransactions. Now, this is what I mean by peer pressured, because you don't have an option apart from to do this if you want to play the game, and you've already invested enough time in it to want this. So you will spend that extra £5 or £6 or even up to £70 in one of them. And it's not good. No one should be able to pay that much on a single app that's worth 69p or is free to play, which is just the worst thing. This is bad, and it just shows how money grabbing big companies can be. And they are taking advantage of people's desire to play games, and that's not something that should be taken advantage of. If people want to play games, that should be rejoiced, because games are great things and we shouldn't be exploiting people's desire to play games and get better at them. That's not right in my books. That is coming from someone who sort of does YouTube and gaming though, so I am slightly biased there, but I do feel that anyone's desire to play a game should not be prohibited by the amount of money that they have. Now, if you feel the same way as me, you might want to go and check out NerdCube's video on the new Dungeon Keeper game, or the new Dungeon Master game. I can't quite remember what it is. I think it's Dungeon Keeper. Now, he shows some very, very one-sided and quite hilarious comments on microtransactions in general, and I wouldn't usually suggest that you go to another YouTuber. Please come back after you've gone and seen his video, but if you do feel the same way as me, you will want to go and check out that video, because it personifies everything that I feel about microtransactions with a couple more swear words than I put into my videos. So I'll link that in the description. Go and watch that. Thank you, and subscribe and all that jazz if you have enjoyed this video. Give your opinions on microtransactions in general as well, please, in the comments, because I'd be glad to hear what you have to say, because it is, of course, a community here, and we do all have different opinions, so I'd like to hear all of them. Okay, thank you. Also, if you're watching my channel, go and check out the trailer that I've just put up. I'm quite proud of it. It took me a few hours, and I'd like some opinions and some sort of advice on the trailer, because I'm sure I will have a couple of iterations of that soon. So thank you for watching, and goodbye.